All right, who's got that first spiritual experience they'd like to share with the rest of us? Use your phone in the back there. Star 6 your phone, everybody. All right, who has that first spiritual experience they'd like to share with us? Who's going to be gracious enough to share one with us? I'll start off. I had one. It was just before day, and I was listening to the CD that I made for you all that makes you pop out of your body for sure. The one called Cosmic Traveler, right? And I'm just glad that I'm putting together a couple of packages for people that they can be introduced to tools like that. Anyway, when I came through, the setting it was daylight, but it was, again, in a realm where the sun's not that bright. Light evenly distributed, not coming from a single focal point. And there seemed to be like a convenience store or something in front of it. There was a large parking lot, and it had an oval-shaped enclosure there, pretty large, and it was probably, at the peak, it was built up to about, say, 7 feet off the ground. It was beautiful. It swirled around, spiraling up, and at the top, there was a platform with a chair in it that was like a throne. It was a throne. And Malachi sits on that throne very frequently. And I know that he sits on that throne. And I sit on that throne as well. We share that throne. But it appears that now that I'm on the throne, it's like I'm the one that's just about the only one on the throne now. Well, there was something I had to do. I was in a hurry to do it. So I was riding on my 10-speed. I was riding so fast, faster than humanly possible. Let me start moving. And I crossed the intersection against the traffic, and then I got in line with the traffic. When I was driving down, there was another brother with me behind me, trying to keep up. And then in front of us, there was a brother working on a ladder, older brother working on a ladder, a tall ladder, like a 30-foot ladder. And so I swerved around him. I kept going, but I was pressed for getting to wherever I was, where I was due, where I had to be. So I started riding at superhuman speeds on that bike. And the brother behind me was struggling to keep up, and I knew I felt it. So
Go back.
Rahul back. So I love you. So I pulled over to the left so he could catch up with me. And I reached in my pocket and gave him something. It was like a coin shape, but it was something I gave him, like a consolation or some kind of something I gave him as a gift, and then I hurried off on my way to get to whatever it is it was time that I had to get done, or the place I had to be. But that was my spiritual experience. I was with Malachi for a long time. Then I was in a place I really don't want to go into that. It was very, very bad. I was slaying dragons again and all that. I don't really like to regurgitate that type of information. Okay, what is that first question? Let's get rolling, y'all.
Yes, I have one.
All right, and while you about to arrange your question, I'd like to have everybody get their King James Bible and go to Matthew chapter 24 and just hold. Get your King James Bible and go to Matthew chapter 24 and hold. All right, Goddess, what is your question? And I'll do my very best.
Okay, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew 24. Okay. My question was this. I was reading, going back over the Dimensional Shift book.
Yes.
And I wanted to ask about the crystal skulls being reactivated by a pure being with the crystal staff to help us to remember who and what we are.
Okay. Now what we'll do is let's all get the dimensional shift, because I'll go back to the place that you were at, and we'll back up a little bit and then read forward and untangle that. Okay. In the meantime, to give everybody some insight about crystal skulls, in case you don't know, there's 13 of them.
This is Jared Lee.
Hey, I'm glad you're here, Jared.
Jared Lee.
How things in Chi-Town?
Not too
How
good.
they gonna?
You know, it's the usual.
No, I hear you.
I
Right.
should say it's the usual.
Well, just as long as you
the
all right.
usual hate, the usual evil. Yeah, I'm all right, but I'm attacked. But
Yeah, well, I keep my hand
I'm
over
strong
you.
enough to handle it.
I
know you
hear
do.
you.
That's why I know. That's why
That's right.
I'm walking
Okay.
with you.
That's right. All right, now, the crystal skulls were actually formed by masters, 13 masters, a long time ago. And the way they formed them, they're made out of quartz crystal. Some have moving parts like hands, jaws, etc. But they weren't cut with laser beams or definitely not with diamond drills or anything like that. Believe it or not, they were formed by, what was our last class about? Vibration. Frequencies. These masters could raise their frequency with their hands. They took a piece of quartz and they molded the molecules into a crystal skull. And when they all achieved that in a circle, they consciously placed all of the information all of their knowledge and wisdom into the crystal skull, because a lot of people understand that crystals basically hold information like computers, except a lot more. The capacity is a lot wider. Everything that they knew, all of these elders placed their information in these crystal skulls. It was 13 or 24 of them, Keeper.
It was 13.
That's what I thought. But those 13 masters, and I want y'all to know that even though it's kind of vague about the details right now, because it was so long ago, I am one of those masters. So yes, there is a staff, a crystal staff, that when found, it will be given to the head elder, the lead elder. And with that, he will activate the 13 skulls, and they will pour out all the information about the past, present, and future, about the entire creation. It's contained within those 13 skulls. Okay?
Yeah,
now,
will that happen soon?
Well, see, time is not really relevant in the spiritual realm, remember? Because John, over 2,000 years ago, was taking up vibratory, and taken up into the spiritual realm. And he could see through time, past, present, and future. He was taken up on our board, as we say. And he could see through time, so he could see what was going to happen here in the last days, and even after today, from 2,000 years ago vantage point. You follow me? So time is not relevant in the spiritual realm in the way it is in 3D. If you take 3 people and put them in a room, and they all sit together, and then one falls asleep at 11 o'clock, the other falls asleep at 12 o'clock, and the last one falls asleep at 2 o'clock. Do you understand? If you wake them all up at the same time, what's the first question they all ask? What time is it?
What time is it?
That's right, because they don't have no comprehension. There's no time there. You follow me? When you fall asleep, one thing you want to know is, how long did I sleep? How long I've been asleep? People have to tell you, you've been asleep 2 hours or 5 hours or whatever it is, right? Because you don't know, there's no time in the spiritual realm. The time is now. So when you say, will it be soon? What time? How long will it be? I don't have an answer for that, right? Only the Most High can answer. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I had another question too, because I know I watch a lot of different documentaries, and I've seen on one documentary where one of the crystal skulls was found, and this Kakashi woman has one of the skulls.
Yes.
And I know they were trying to do.
She got it it was passed down to her from her father. And she was actually keeping it in a box, a chest at home in I think a New York apartment building. Yeah, she got it. But it's a shame because they're not for personal ownership. But it's public domain.
Right,
you know that yourself.
Yeah, I know. And then what kind of got me was, too, they were, like, doing experiments on the skull as well.
Yeah. Well, it's really not. It's not theirs to tinker with, and they'll regret playing with that. You follow me? Just like they disturbed a lot of tombs and sacred places that we had in antiquity. Like, for example, the tomb of Tut-Amun. They say it real fast, they have Tut-Amun. But Carter, and then when they, disturbed that tomb and unearthed it, and wonderful things, they see this, that, and the other. It was just days apart that 7 of them died, unnatural deaths, right? And they call it the curse of the Pharaoh's curse. And it's been happening a lot of times. And then some of those artifacts, were placed on the Titanic, the so-called indestructible ship, which, of course, proved to be fatal for everybody on board, except those that managed to escape to a life raft in that freezing water. There's been many instances that you can track on the computer of the Pharaoh's curse. It's a real reality, seriously, and we should all be mindful that we should never play with divine, items or relics. It's just like the mistake that they made in the Middle East. The house of the Most High is the Aqsa Masjid, the Dome of the Rock, built by Solomon and Hiram Abiff, and people have assigned and consigned to that project by the prophet David, who gathered all the materials like the tall cedars of Lebanon and all the large stones and jewels to make that project. And he had a caravan of camels carrying it to the spot. But an angel came to his cave in the night and woke him up and told him that the Most High told him that he had too much blood on his hands and that he couldn't complete the project, and he had to therefore, conscript his son Solomon, the prophet Solomon, to finish it up. And so he did. It's the same Dome of the Rock, Aqsa Masjid, that you all can look up on YouTube. In 2011, there was a bright light, like a beer rack, a bright white that shot up out of that dome in clear view of thousands of people in Israel, and where it descended down on the Dome of the Rock, and then it shot up through the 7 heavens at a great speed. And you can look at that right now. Bright light, just type in bright light, UFO, ascending and descending out of the Dome of the Rock or the Aqsa Masjid, YouTube, and it'll take you right there in an instant. All right? But Donald Trump went over there recently and had the political gall to forge a document and called himself signing over the house of the Most High to Bibi Netanyahu. A political figure and a crooked one, pretending to be the Jews. There are those of you that say they are Jews but are not, but of the synagogue of Satan. Donald Trump signed it over to him, and they immediately went in there and banned all the Muslims. And you know that Ahmed was a Muslim, and Muhammad was a Muslim, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and yeah. And so they're doing some horrible things. That's what's going to cause the apocalypse in the Middle East, in the Jordan River, and in that sacred valley of Megiddo, right? So playing with those 13 skulls is the same thing, because all those elders were appointed by the Creator, all right? And His will be done on earth as it is in heaven. That's a fact. So let them keep touching things. Okay, who was at that next question? Jared Lee, you got a spiritual experience you want to share with us?
Yes, I do have.
All right, go ahead, Jared. Wait a minute, you're not clear yet. Put your mouth on the phone clear now. Don't use the speakerphone.
Okay. You know the situation that happened to me, with my my wife's son or whatever. You know, I've been having some visions. He's been coming to me. You know, he's been coming to me in my dreams and showing me different things. The first dream I had of him, it was more or less like he was taking me back into like my past, because I had some things that happened to me in my past with my individual in my family that had passed at my house. Like when I was younger, when I was probably like in my 20s, my early 20s, my first cousin, it was like my best friend and everything. He died at like 23. This guy came to our house and killed him, shot him with a 22 rifle, or 22 pistol, and shot him in his heart, poisoned his blood and everything, and killed him. And so when I had the dream of the son, you know, he took me back to my house. We were back at my old house that my cousin died at, because my cousin died on the front porch of the house. And we were on the front porch and everything. His mom was in the house. And he was like, I was coming to the house, and I'm like, Kanye, where your mom at? He was like, she in there with her coat on, mad. And I'm like, dang, it was so real though. It was like it was actually happening at that time.
I
understand. Like you say, things vibrate on different. Yeah.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right, Jared.
And the most recent one I had, it was like he was like older, but he wasn't too older. He was just like he just upgraded his body that he had here or something. You get what I'm trying to say?
Exactly. And that's what we're
like
doing
he
here.
Ascended. Yeah, that's what he was showing me. Like I ascended to this. You know, this is my new body.
All right. That's what it is. We're going to make sure that everybody here gets a new body.
Yep, that's what he was trying to let me know. And that's what I try to convey to the people around me, like this deeper meaning to it, but they really don't get it. They really don't take it in. They really don't want to hear it.
They don't really understand. They don't get it.
And it puts me at odds ends. It puts me at odds ends because everyone's looking at me like he's strange, he's weird.
That's exactly right. He's nuts.
He think he know it all. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
but you know what you know.
It's a burden. It's a very heavy.
It is. The truth is a burden in a lying reality. Truth is a burden. Yeah. This place is no functional illiteracy.
I don't say much on here because that's the thing. I don't want you to never think that I'm not trying to participate or be involved, but I want to learn. I want to hear. I don't know anything.
I love you, but you know when you talk, like you just shared with us right there.
This is my first time ever having, even speaking like this on this line like this because I had to.
I know you be here, Jared. But the point I'm trying to make is what you just shared with the class. It enlightened a lot of people. Many of them may have had similar experiences, and it gave them the epiphany of, aha, so I wasn't crazy. You follow what I'm saying? So it's very important for us all to share with one another, because we all are these spooky action people. We're all starseed. You follow me? And this place, we're all out of place here. I'm not talking about the fire children. This is their domain until they turn into a center. But all of us feel that way, and it's just a comfort to us to hear like-minded others that share our experiences, what have you. You follow what I mean? So thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, I wanted to ask a question.
Anything I could do to help.
You just did. Yeah. I still got your package waiting for you. I hear you. All right.
Yes, sir.
I want to ask you all, did you all realize, or is it just me, or does it seem to you all that almost everything that you like to do or seems like it's forbidden in this world? Does it seem like that in a way sometimes? Like I've never eaten any pork since I was an Ansar. Yet I stopped eating pork in the late 70s, and I never ate it anymore. But I love pork chops. When you pull the bone off and the fat around it, just put a well-done pork chop between two slices of bread. I don't need nothing else. I mean, I really love pork chops.
Woo! With some mayonnaise.
That just set it off. But I'm saying I love them so much I can just eat them just like that. And it's just a lot of things that some people like to imbibe. You might like certain drinks, or drugs, or participate in being, I don't want to say sexually promiscuous, but it's just a lot of things that people kind of are drawn to that seem to be forbidden, right? But is it just me and you, Keeper? I guess the rest of them, they don't know what I'm talking about. Well, you need to tell the people you do. All right. Well, I wanted to bring y'all to.
Yes, and my cut was ribs and bacon that I love to eat, and chitlins too. I'm sorry.
No, I don't like chili, but not pork bacon was always something to me that was smelled good and was real. And I love Canadian bacon, I do, but I haven't tasted it since the 60s. Okay, let me tell you, give you some insight about that. When the Most High first created the world, and He placed Adam and Eve in the garden, Okinawa, it was in Africa. He gave them access to every tree in the garden, the fruit of every tree in the garden. They could eat anything in the garden. There was nothing forbidden to them except one thing for discipline, rule of the word disciple, discipline. He forbade them access to one tree, the knowledge of the fruit of good and evil, which was the pomegranate, opium poppy pomegranate, as you call it, the Chinese apple, we call it. Look it up. And there's a nature in people. I don't know if you all noticed it, but you can have children and you can leave 10 toys in the house for them to play with. You say, look, I'm going to the store. I'll be back in 15 minutes. You can play with all 9 of these toys. But you see that red fire engine over in the corner? Don't touch it. Now, I don't care how interesting the toys seem and how much fun they'll be. As soon as you close the door, a lot of children have a tendency to make a beeline for the red fire engine in the corner, right? And it's got something to do with not wanting to be controlled or told what you can and can't do. There's a rebellious spirit in us that we have to shake in order to re-enter the kingdom of heaven. Now, when Adam and Eve and the Most High made that forbidden tree visible from anywhere in the garden, it was so big it made no difference how far away you were, you could see that tree. It was always there, enticing like a red fire engine. And them niggas eventually ended up there eating that doggone fruit, partaking of it. And that opium made them feel wise and like giants and like they were clever and like they was gods and all this stuff. And revealed them the knowledge of good and evil, because in that rebellion was the evil. But what happened is, after that world was wiped out, Noah, I knew Adam and Eve were there. They too were placed in the garden in Ganawa. And the garden is the whole world. But this time, He made it narrow like a cigarette, where the truth is like a tree, right? And you can see it from anywhere in the garden. But the Most High has denied you almost every fruit of the garden that was pleasant for you to look at and pleasing for you to partake of. It's been denied you this time. So you failed the test. I want you to feel the mind of the Most High. Calibrate it. Get in sync with it so you know how to roll with it. Because you're not going to beat it. Now, He's placed you in a garden where a lot of the things that you like and want, you're denied. You hear me? So, the way you look at that is the way it is with the Most High. If you have a habit here, such as smoking cigarettes, and you find that habit hard to break, or you haven't resigned to be willful enough to do it, I want to make sure that you all know, I won't leave a stone unturned, that if you die with that habit of smoking, that when you wake up in the spiritual realm with that habit, it'll be 100 times harder to quit than it is here. 100 times harder to break. So my message is to you, and my clear warning is, break your habits now in 3D. Listen to the Most High. Remember Adam, remember Eve, what happened the first time you disobeyed Him with that truck. It's going to get heavier and heavier until it gets until it gets out of your hands now, and you're going to be trapped in hell forever now. Don't paint yourself in a corner. You hear me? All right. Next person with a spiritual experience, or that next question.
I have another question.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I can.
I was saying I have. Okay, I was saying I have another question.
Yes.
Okay, and also in the dimensional shift, in the back of the book, verse 217, it says the creation of the fourth dimensional frequencies of Do, which is the C note, Ray, which is the D note, Mi, which is the E note, and Fa, which is the F note. I wanted to know why did they taught us that like in elementary school? Why? Did they know the importance
because
of
they
it?
know.
Yeah,
they know the importance of it. But they distorted the truth. Like when I was in elementary school in Michigan, I had a teacher named Miss Walker, a white woman. And she was teaching us geography about people that lived in the north, like in Europe, and people that lived in Africa, and this, that, and the other. And I just asked a curious question like a child would. I raised my hand. I said, Miss Walker, what would happen if a black person and a white person made a baby together? You know, and she looked straight at me and the rest of the class and said, the baby would be gray. You hear me how misleading these people can be?
That's I don't even have words for that.
I don't know, but she figured that it was logic that if you black and white mix would make the color green, which it does, but that don't work for people.
Not in people.
Yeah,
not in people.
About,
that ain't even rational.
Well, it is to a child. I was in elementary school, but I'm just telling you that's how they dismiss you.
I know, but I'm just saying, even for her to be an adult, to say that to a child, come on, man. That don't make that wouldn't even make sense to no melanated child. I would have had more time. I'm gonna leave it alone because I got kicked out of many classes growing up.
Well, see, that was in probably 1957, though. See, maybe 1959 when I asked that question. So things it was a different world then, you know. It was messed up. It was, but it's them, isn't it? Decepticons. The devil is a liar, and the truth is not in him. All right, who's got that next spiritual experience or that next question? Sister, do you want me to walk through the dimensional shift and answer some questions?
Okay.
I don't have a problem.
Just really I just wanted to know, I mean, do we need to work on those notes? What were the importance of the notes was my question.
Well, he's trying to teach you about tones. He's trying to teach you about tones and planes and how to shift frequencies and shift planes. You follow me? Because when you go up or down the scale, middle C is the one you need to be interested in. I can tell you this would come in, what you really need to learn about tones. For example, everybody has their own tone. It's middle C for everybody, but if you play a piano, you know there's at least 3 or 4 middle C's on the piano, right? So you just have to go sit on the piano, especially if you're musically inclined, and tap the keys, beep, 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 boom, 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 beep, 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 boom, boom, till you hit the tone that you're most comfortable with. When you hit your tone, you'll feel it, you'll know, but you have to take time and find it. You understand? You have to take time to find your tone and find out where you are. You can give me dimensional shift out of it. But what I'm going to do, I got dimensional shift. If you have yours handy, you can tell me where you were reading the things that you really want to discuss, the things you're curious about. No.
Okay, I'll let you know right now. It's at the back. It was 216. Well, not from 216, but 217.
Page 217.
No, not page 217.
Verse 2. Okay, 217. Okay, verse. All right.
Yeah.
All right. let's go back. Let's go back to verse 200 and work forward. All right.
Okay.
59,999 of them will move there, plus Canaan, Laban, 60,000 years in all. The war lasted for 6,000 years, so they stayed in the caves. They stayed in the caves, and it's showing all. If you all would just listen to me and look at Ancient Aliens, that series is revealing all these things to you. Ancient Aliens. Why don't you look at it 4 or 5 times and then find out if I'm crazy or not, instead of the things that you in pursuit of. Then we'll move to the mountains called, after the Caucasus Mountains, they became Caucasus or Caucasians. Because of the attacks, these Mesopotamians on the Africans, the halls of Amun-Rayay were closed gates or portals. No, Amun would make a way between Pa-Ptah, the heaven, and Pa-Taha, the earth, or Pa-Taha, earth, and Razakwa, risk. Because of the contaminated genetic codes caused by the rape of the pure race, the root race, through gene mixing with the lepers. It tickled me today. I was looking at a paleontology show where they're talking about they discovered a new dinosaur, and they charted as that they were a species that walked the earth about 113 million years ago, right? And they got these dinosaur skeletons all through Smithsonian all over the world. And white people try to tell you that black and white people make somebody gray. It's the same way that they tell you that the world was created by God in 6 days, and it's been here for 6,000 years. They know it takes longer than that to make diamonds and oil, but I'm saying all these dinosaurs in plain sight, the devil is a big liar. Now, why do you think they say 6,000 years? Because that's how long they've been here. Other than Halabian Flugelrots, they've been here 8,600 years. All right? Now, because of the contaminated genetic codes caused by rape of the pure race, the root race, through gene mixing with the lepers, the 5th and 6th Mongoloids and Caucasoids, 204. The sealed gateway, or stargate, meant humanity had evolved into the morphogenetic field of their own race, and pick up DNA strands by mixing the females of a lower DNA strand to a higher DNA strand. The males of the low race, 5th or 6th, cannot do it, being his Salafu ancestors only records the female mitochondria DNA. Right? So that's what I was telling you all. You take a white male and a white female. The white male is 5 ether. The white female is 6 ether. So if the white woman is with a black man sexually over a period of time, it is possible for him to reactivate her soul. But the white man, even if he's with a black woman, his soul can't be activated because he's 5 ether. So what would happen if he tried to activate his soul? Because he's not genetically equipped for that type of inner heat in the solar plexus, it would be spontaneous internal combustion. You know when they burst in a flame from inside out? They can't handle that heat. Okay. So the females of the 5th and 6th must choose males from the 7th and 8th or the 9th. So the females, you see, so you're talking about white women, if they choose a black man, they can make it. Right? 207. So without the imprint frequency patterns of divine strains, the 9th, the incarnate Ba, soul, and could not plug strands 4, 5, or 6 into the operation genetic code of 9, Negroid DNA. So now that is on 9.9.2009 AD, the porthole of the halls of Amun-Rayay, called by some Amen to human lineage. For 24,000-year cycle or the equinox, you have the 26,000-year cycle or the precessional equinox, 2009 AD plus 2, 2010, 2011, on to 2012. I just experienced it. I was taking up March 26, 2013. Each must complete its own time. So you say from 2009, then start to 2010, 2011, then start 2012. And you can know that it happened. A lot of people don't know that, but that's when they start the Mandela effect. And if you look at YouTube and look for aerial photos, like I told you before, aerial footage of polluted cities, like Cleveland and all overseas, you know, they got some cities so much smog you can't even see your hand in front of your face. Well, in 2012, you can look and see that you got two, you know, you can see them there all polluted, or you can see them there and they're crystal clear. The water, the air, everything is sparkling. The new heaven and new earth. All right? Each must complete its own time. So you say from 2009, then start to 2010, 2011, then start 2012. It was closed and moved by removing the morphogenetic field on Earth. Land 1 mile for each year linked to the body of Amun-Rayay Akata. Now, what they mean by linked it 1 year to every mile is because you got the circumference of the Earth is roughly 25,000, rounded off to 24,000 miles in circumference. 24 hours a day, got 24 elders, 24 hours in a day. You follow what I'm saying? As the Nabab Karat, golden child, Pa Amun, that's me, the Amun. So now the energetic block between the physical and the etheric beings within the biogenetic light and sound field, this resulted in a perception of duality being abuse or homophobia. Pronounce that for me, Keeper. You following?
Yes, I am. Homophobia.
Yes, okay, it's homophobia is what it is. By the kind of wicked religions of Karadu cherubim, right? The dual beings dwell on both conscious realms at the same time, being linked to both Sabatat, Wu Sahat, Sirius, and Orion at the same time. That's me, because Malachi will tell you that he's from Sirius. At the same time, he says Amun is from Sirius and Orion. Okay? The dual beings dwell on both conscious realms at the same time, being linked to both Sabatat, Wu Sahat, Sirius, and Orion at the same time. So only they can find the stargates. You must have 4 of them. You know, what he was saying, how you got to have Amun in the center. Then you got to be surrounded on 4 corners by hemorphidites and 2 hemorphidites and 2 hermaphrodites, right? To open up the vortex. That's why in antiquity, Tutankhamun built the city of Armana, because there I was building you stairway to heaven, opening up a porthole that would link Earth to Risk. That's why they killed me at the age of 19. That's my number 2. In the tablets, and the Quran, and in the Bible, my number is 19. And anytime you feel the urge, anybody to ask me to prove what I'm saying, I'll do it, and I won't take it as anything except you want to know. Okay, Celtic, the creation of the 4th dimensional frequencies, or notes, do, si, re, di, mi, e, fa, like do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Yeah, they know what they're doing. They're playing with those tones. It has a block that must be opened by a buildup of soul fragments in dimensions. 7, 8, and 9 that will have to integrate into the root race for divine consciousness. Right? And then he put that piece of paper together. I said to most of you have it, where he said that Amun, without the ray, will raise up all of you, the Nawabians of those chosen, the 144,000 will be raised up by Amun by 2030, August 12th. How many of you remember reading that?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I got to get it to a lot more of you. The sub-race must serve the sixth race of Caucasoid to help enforce the spell of ignorance on the Nagaru. So that's why they don't want me to teach you all anything. They don't want Malachi to teach you anything. Because they are working, the disagreeable, the black and white disagreeable, the devils are teaching to keep you all spellbound under the spell of ignorance. You follow me? Now, with so much mixing and religion and blind faith, the Nagaru lost their fate, their way. Now the Taha, planet Earth, is out of sync and using the weather to return to 24. It now can no longer sustain life. The Caucasus are dying faster than they're being born. Look it up. Why people dying faster than they're being born? Taha, Earth, has now not becoming an ascension planet to high dimensional beings of all kinds, good and wicked. And those spirits of the 4th, 5th, and 6th are blocked. So you got to be at least at the 7th, right? While those of the 7th, 8th, and 9th can ascend to higher dimensions with the exact ritual rites at the exact moment in space and time, which truthfully brings me to a point in my journey where that I was asleep, living by myself. I woke up at night and I was sitting on the corner of the bed, the edge of the bed. Don't know why. But I was sitting there and there was a being behind me. And he was kneading in my back like a woman kneads dough. Working in my back. And it got kind of supple like. And he asked me, he said, how many? I didn't respond because I didn't understand the question. He repeated again. He said, how many? I repeated. I didn't say anything because I didn't understand. Then he said, with force, how many? I said, 7. He said, all right then. And then he started working in my back real deep, like it was really nothing but dough. And when he did that, when he got to work in my back, he fell down on the bed, on the pillow, like Paul on that movie. When he bring a bird back to life, he loses his life. He fell out all exasperated and tired. He didn't have no strength, energy, nothing, and he was all gone. He was shot. Then I was looking at it, it was a grave, but he was reddish brown. He popped up off that pillow and jumped off the bed and started walking toward the door. And before he went out, I said, hey, wait a minute, what did you do? And he told me, he said, I just healed you from so-and-so, and walked off. But deep down inside, I knew my number. I knew it was 7, right? Now I'll read 225 again. And those spirits of the 4th, 5th, and 6th are blocked, while those of the 7th, 8th, and 9th can ascend to higher dimensions with the exact ritual rites at the exact moment in space and time. Taha, Earth, has become an ascension port and descending base, a haven for all kinds of extraterrestrials. Yes, a lot of us here. So now, the Wapians, it's your time, 9/9/2009 AD. You are able to achieve dimensional ascension through re-evolution, that is spirituality. You do this by re-evolving back into your original DNA strands, and that is in Wunuwap, the seal or block of the curse which blocked the Stargate portal created the problem. And you trusting then with your soul within the incarnation process and for the physical incarnates on Earth. Because of the seal, the Negroid race and the race memory is gone. It was wiped out of the crystal skulls, or Earth's cellular memory of 24,000 years. Which brings me to another experience I had in the spiritual realm. I was walking in the world. I looked at the sky, it was beautiful blue, beautiful blue. And I saw 3 crabs moving toward me. Then I turned around and they had landed. They had stilts, like they were high up in the air, and it was crowds of people in front of, throngs of people in front of every one of them. And the Anunnaki was standing in the doorway, like Mardi Gras parade, throwing them gifts. And they had one real important kind of big electronic gift, looked like. But I turned around and was facing where I saw the crabs again, and I saw a very untraveled Anunnaki man coming toward me. Short haircut. He was a brown brother, of course. And he was dressed in white, but not like a jalabia. He had on a pants outfit, and he had a red sash around his waist, and the sash hung down on the left side of him. And when he was walking past me, I said, just trying to make conversation, I slowed him down. I said, well, how long did it take y'all to get back? And he looked at me without slowing down, all irritated, and said, 24,000 years. Didn't you even know that? And I thought to myself, man, I don't want to be around y'all. You got a bad attitude, man. You know, I could go deeper into that, but I'm just telling you so you can understand what 24 means to me. Yeah, 24,000 years. Didn't you even know that? Yeah, I knew that, but I'm just saying I was trying to make conversation. All right. Africans are able to remember, Africans are unable to remember who and what they are, or where they came from, their life purpose. Just like y'all look at the pyramids today, and you don't know where they came from, or where they are going on their evolutionary path, filament. So the African race is now entering a new cycle with no memory of their identity. This knowledge was recorded and stored on crystal skulls. Activated by the crystal-headed staff. And the staff could be accessed only by a pure being. The seal on the earth is a frequency quarantine of F-flat, F major, and F sharp, was done with music or with singing. Disconnected us from Earth's tone and our galactical family. That time has ended if you get back in tune with your planet given to you by Partner's Daughter. It's time for our dimensional shift. Are you ready? Okay. So, is that clear to you, sister?
Well, my question was, though, if it says that our memory was even wiped out of the crystal skulls, then,
you said the memory was wiped out of the crystal skulls. Right, that's right. Go ahead.
Yeah, so
and then you the singular memory, too.
And so if that's the case, then how will we be restored then? By going through these F tones?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And you got to first find your tone, which is middle C on the piano or another instrument. Okay? Now I have a CD I sent you all that was made in Atlanta at the Mirror. The last time I was there, after the Brown Mirror, but Yanu's older sister, Komamtat, Waki, she had a gathering up there, her and her daughter Fatima, Malachi's niece. And I went up there when a guy, Khalil Hall, a disciple of mine that comes to class infrequently, but he comes in and out. And she was doing the tones. And she said that Panabab asked the whole Nubian community on Earth a very important question. He said the most powerful tone in creation is Amun. Amun. That's the most powerful sound in creation. He gave them a choice. Do you all want to start using Amun, or you want to stay back there with Om? And all of them together, raised their hand and said, we want to stay one on while I was in the room. Now, that name of that CD is Affirmation. It's 2413. What's that first date on it? 6/24/13. It's 7/24/13. That's the date of it. So you can look on the computer and find it right now. Those of you who don't remember that, I sent it to you in the package. It's Affirmation C class, and it's you can find it on YouTube, but it's 7/24/13. Write it down, and you hear me in there too, right? But black people are making the wrong decisions. You follow? But I'm a binary being. I'm a chimera. And if you read in the Holy Tablets, Aphid, as I was called then, the Creator's words, he said, Aphid has a firm place in the heavens. So I'm not going to be left behind. I'm here to try to bring you all up forward too, so you won't get left behind. You know, be careful with me. Serious about that. You know, I have a firm place. I'm not going to be left behind. But I definitely want for you all not to be left behind as well. All right, next question. Or spiritual experience.
We've got Matthew King James waiting.
Say it again. How you doing, guys? How's everything in London? You keeping them, you holding them down, waking them up?
Trying. Day by day.
Oh. Okay. Well, did you post up the post I sent you to everybody?
I didn't get it.
Wow. Send me an email to Orion9StarMover@gmail.com. All right.
I did yesterday.
Okay.
I sent an email.
Could you send another one to Star Mover?
Yeah,
please?
Will do.
Okay. What is your question or your statement, Cheryl?
No, we've got Matthew chapter 24 waiting. King James.
Okay. All right. King James, Matthew 24. I'll tell you what. I'll just read, starting with chapter 24, because I found some very interesting things in Matthew. Right. Let me know when you all are there. Matthew chapter 24. As Jesus went out and departed from the temple, and the disciples came to him for to shew him the buildings of the temple. And Jesus said unto them, see ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And when shall the sign of thy coming? And what shall be the sign of thy coming? And the end of the world. Right? So you want to know the signs of his coming. And Jesus answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. For man shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. That's true. Everybody's the Messiah, right? But for real, the signs of the coming is, and ye shall hear of wars. You know, Ukraine, Israel, on and on. And rumors of wars. See that ye not be troubled. That's what I tell you all. Don't worry about what they're doing. For all these things must come to pass. But the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilence like COVID, and earthquakes in diverse places. You've seen them, like in Greenland. They're coming. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and shall be hated, and ye shall be hated of all the nations for my name's sake. Keep posted. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that endure until the end, the same shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations. That's what I'm telling y'all to do, post and propagate. And then shall the end come. We need therefore shall see the abomination of desolation. Donald Trump, right? Spoken of by Daniel, the prophet. Stand in the holy place. Whoso readeth, let him understand. Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains. Now that's around Judah and around Israel, those places over there. They should flee into the mountains because of what's happening being unleashed right now, right? Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. Neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. For then shall great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be, again. And except those days should be shortened, there should be no flesh saved. There should be no flesh saved. So I'll tell you what's happening right now. The Most High is telling you that he's going to shorten the days for you all's sake. To keep from being stretched out. How many of y'all believe that's going to happen? Why are you all saying right now, damn, time really is flying? Right, because now what used to be a year is only 6 months since the year 2000. He's shortening the days. And your birthdays are coming so quick. You understand? It's like you can't believe you're that old. When people ask you who the president is and how old you are, sometimes you got to think for a minute. Because he is shortening the days. For your sake. 22. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, for the elect, those days shall be shortened. Then if any man shall say unto you, Lo, here is Christ, or there, believe it not. For there shall arise false Christs, and false prophets, are they out there, and shall shew great signs and wonders, insomuch that, if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elite. Behold, I have told you before. Wherefore, if they shall say unto you, Behold, he is in the desert, go not forth. Behold, he is in the secret chambers, believe it not. For if the lightning coming out of the east and shineth even unto the west, that's it, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. He's not going to be in the east this time, but like lightning coming out of the east to the west, so shall also be the coming of the Son of Man unto the west. For wheresoever the carcass is, there will the eagles be gathered together. The carcass is going to be in the New Jerusalem. That's going to be Bethlehem, the house of flesh, where you have the 3-star alignments. The first was May 5th, 2000, and the second one and the third one was here when Katat and 2 more brothers were here with me. We walking from the supermarket. It's over my house. It's here. Because that's what the 3 wise men were following, those stars, and find the baby Jesus the first time over 2,000 years ago. To mark that place. You understand? For wheresoever the carcass is, there will the eagles be gathered together. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven. And the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. That's the Messiah star. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. Now that don't mean that I'm coming out the sky. That means I'll be gathered with you all like, behold, I looked at Mount Zion, and there stood a Lamb, and with him 144,000, with their father's name written in their foreheads, meaning their third eyes were open. But it'll be all of us dressed in white. All of us dressed in white, and the people that look on will look like clouds to them. Believe me, this is true. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, Messiah star. Then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. Go to Holy Tablet, chapter 6, tablet 4, verse 168 and 169. It's written that the great archpriest will come performing miracles greater and more glorious than all the previous ones. Right? Some performing miracles greater than all the previous ones. Greater than Moses and Jesus of old, and everybody that performed miracles, Elijah and raised the dead. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of the heaven to the other. Now, it's not going to gather those that pretend to be with me. It's going to gather the ones that are with me. You know who you are, and so do I. Now learn a parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender, and pulleth forth leaves, you know that summer is nigh. So what does God send you seasons to give you signs of what the season is going to be, right? Yeah. When you see buds on the tree, you know it's a sign of spring, you know. So when you see these different signs, these wars and rumors of war, earthquakes in diverse places, pestilence, and all these different things he's telling you about, that sign in the heavens, then know that the Son of Man is nigh, near. I'm here. So likewise ye, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. But of that day and hour knoweth no man. No, that's what I'm telling you guys. No man knows, but not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. Better the days of Noah, that's Noah, were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. Well, when Noah's time, the whole world was destroyed. So my coming is the same thing. This world that they're fighting so desperately to keep in control. They standing on the iceberg in the sun. All right. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. Then shall two be in the field, the one shall be taken, and the other left. If you think I'm kidding, look at a movie that track it. Left behind, and let the white people tell you what they know and what's frightening them, what they're terrified of. Two women shall be grinding at the mill, and one shall be taken, and the other left. Watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your Lord doth come. But know this, that if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched and would not suffer this house to be broken up. But I come like a thief in the night. See, therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not, the Son of Man cometh. Who then is a faithful and wise servant? That's right. Whom his Lord hath made ruler over his household, to give them meat in due season. Blessed is the servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing the work. Do your job. Be responsible. Get this message out. Verily I say unto you, that he shall make him ruler over all his goods. But if that evil servant shall say in his heart, my Lord delayeth his coming, yeah, and shall begin to smite his fellow servants, and to eat and drink with the drunken, the Lord of that servant shall come in a day when he looketh not for him, and in the hour that he is not aware of, and shall cut him asunder, and appoint him his portion with the hypocrites. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. 25. Y'all, I don't want to read these parables, but I did want to have y'all go to Luke 21:8. Luke chapter 21. And he looked up and saw the rich man casting their gifts into the treasury. And he saw also a certain poor widow casting in thither 2 mites. That's less than a penny. And he said, of a truth, I say unto you, that this poor widow hath cast in more than they all. Why? Because that's all she had, right? For all these have of their abundance cast into the offerings of God. But she of her poultry, is supposed to be penny, has cast in all the living that she had. So a mite back then was considered the smallest denomination of money, right? But he was saying that to the rich people that cast and give thousands and thousands, like in these mega churches, it's not as much as the poor that send donations to this mission, like we need right now, and they know they have it. And at the very least, they can order a spiritual package for their enlightenment and to sustain us in the mission. But will they do it? And as some spake of the temple, how it was adorned with goodly stones and gifts, he said, as to these things which ye behold, the days will come in which there shall not be left one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. The same thing Matthew said. And they asked him, saying, Master, but when shall these things be? And what sign will there be when these things shall come to pass? And he said, take heed that ye be not deceived, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and the time draweth near. Go ye not therefore after them, but when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not near. And by then said he unto them, nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And great earthquakes shall be in the divers places, and famines and pestilences, and fearful sights, and great signs shall be from heaven. That's like when y'all move stars. But before all these, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you. Don't fear that. Delivering you up to the synagogues and to the prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake. and it shall turn to you, and it shall turn to you for a testimony. So don't I ask you all for your testimonies, written testimonies? I'm asking you for your testimonies and your donation support right now. For I will give you a mouth and wisdom which all your adversaries shall not be able to gain, say, nor resist. And he shall be betrayed both by parents and brethren and kinfolks and friends. And some of you shall they cause be put to death. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. Now, it's time to move these stars, but let me just read one more thing here. But there shall not an hair of your head perish. In your patience possesses ye your souls. And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, so when you see in Jerusalem right now in Israel, it's compassed with armies, right? Then know that desolation thereof is nigh. All right? Now you can read after this on yourself, because you're on the right track to understanding, overstanding. Okay? Now everybody here, Jared, I need you too to step out, and I know it's cold in Chicago, but I need you to move something in the sky tonight. Everybody step outside and perform some miracles for the world. And write your testimonies and send in your donations. You don't help us to keep this mission going, to keep this light on. If everyone lit just one little candle with a bright world, this would be, right? Light your light. Ring your bell. Let the Most High see you shine. Earn your throne. Don't be scared of the heathen. Don't fear death. Don't fear the devil. You're going to find out it's an illusion. The only reality is the Most High. All right, who's going to move something for us first? What you see in London, Cheryl?
It's cloudy.
It's cloudy there? Okay. All right, goddess. And bless your soul, I want to tell you. Come on in. All right, who's going to be the first one to move something? What you see in D.C., Patah?
It's cloudy
Hello?
here in Chicago, Amun.
Oh.
It's cloudy here in Chicago.
Okay. All right. Keep on moving. What do you see right there? Yeah, go ahead.
Just look out there. It's supposed to rain, so it's cloudy.
Okay. Who's got stars in the sky? A T-Pet in Virginia. Who's got some stars out there that they see in Florida? Maror. People in Miami. Brother Madudi in Florida. Are you here, Madudi? Are you here, Madudi? Because you promised you were coming. All right, what do y'all see right here in Millersville, Georgia, outside?
Oh, it's a bunch of stars.
You don't see nothing but the moon?
And the
All
Messiah
right.
star, the Messiah star is right over the house.
Right over the house. Okay, what y'all gonna do with that? I see it.
Okay. This is Hotel Amun-Rayay. In the name of Amun.
Go ahead.
Move to the right.
Okay.
In the name of Amun, move to the left. And move to the left. Stop. In the name of Amun, move to the right.
Going right.
They're doing a little dance like.
The brother in D.C. is bearing witness to you. Go ahead.
Okay. It's moving to the right, slowly. Stop.
Stop in the name of Amun. Drop down.
Dropping down slowly.
Stop in the name of Amun. Raise up. And it's raising up. Stop. They're going in a clockwise circle in the name of Amun. And it's going in a clockwise circle.
And remember that all of you have the name Amun when I give you your names. Every one of you's name is Amun, so you're doing it in our collective name. All right, Anuka, what you gonna move? The moon?
I'm gonna move a star.
Why don't you move the moon? Where people can see it easy.
Okay. In the name of Amun-Rayay. Go up.
And it's moving up slowly.
Yeah, moving up slow. In the name of Amun, drop down. Oh boy, it's coming down.
Coming down.
In the name of Amun, move to the right.
You're seeing signs in the heavens now.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In the name of Amun, move back to the left.
And it's moving slowly.
In the name of Amun, go clockwise.
And it's going clockwise.
Can you put my face in the moon, Amun?
Yeah, I'll put it in there.
Oops. Hey, lady girl.
Yeah, I see your lips moving too.
Wow.
And you all gotta remember, I'm inside the house in the bedroom in the dark with my eyes closed. So everybody
the two eyes, the nose, and the mouth.
That's right. Like I told you all, everybody with me is chosen. You are the elite few, and nobody can break that grip except you. Don't be foolish, and do everything in your power to maintain that grip on that rope and to support this mission. And be like me. When people are in need, that's when they feel me the most. But look, that's right. Now, what we want to do is the brother Mint Carvey in Mississippi. I need all of you all to focus all of your energy all around the world, not on the stars, but on the brother Mint Carvey in Meridian, Mississippi. And push that green healing light down through his head and let it sweep all through his body like a magnetic current and push everything negative and fill him up with energy and harmony and divine healing all through his form. In the name of Amun-Rayay, move energy into Mint Carvey. All of you focus.
I see it coming out the bottom of his feet.
That's right. And I want y'all to continuously send that light through Mint Carvey, head to toe, and reinvigorate him and heal him and energize him. Because he's part of this mission and he's your brother and mine. I love you all. We are one.
I love you.
And I proved that last class. I love you. I know you all know I love you.
Yes.
Y'all got to love yourself and the most. Y'all got to love the Most High. All right. I love you all. Well, I do.
Love you too. Well, I do.